Today at Free Field Training, we are talking about cleaning and sanitizing duty belts and some other ancillary police equipment. Now, right off the start, I know I'm not normally good with the timely videos, but this seemed like the perfect time to shoot and edit this together and try to get it out to people because lots of people are asking about this given the current situation in the world. So to start with, we need to recognize that this isn't something that we're generally going to do constantly. I don't know anybody that cleans and sanitizes their duty belt every day or every week, or at least they didn't 3 months ago. Maybe now that'll become something that we're going to start seeing and we're going to start doing more often. Some of these belts are harder to clean and sanitize than others, and unfortunately very often we're stuck with the equipment that our agencies say we can use, or at least the style of equipment that our agencies say we're allowed to use. So we're going to look into several styles of duty belts and how I would recommend, given what I know now, to clean these different things. If you have other methods or other materials that you use to clean this type of stuff, please leave it down in the comment section down below because I would love to hear about them. Also, we are live streaming this on Instagram. We're going to take Instagram comments and questions when all of this is done. If you want to be part of that conversation in the future, go over and follow me, Tommy_Free Field Training over on Instagram. Be part of this discussion, be able to have some input into it, and also get lots of cool comments and questions, and some of that stuff gets edited out of the final video. So if you like the comments and questions at the end of this, you'll love following me over on Instagram. Also, don't forget to subscribe if this is the first time you're watching the video. All that's down below. So, generally speaking, the way that we sanitize different types of duty belts is going to depend on what material the duty belt is. The belt that I'm required to use at work, all of my stuff has to be basket weave unless it's issued by the agency. So it kind of ends up being a mishmash sometimes of different gear, unfortunately. Right now I've got most of it down to being basket weave other than my taser holster, and that's just a polymer, so that's real easy to clean out. With these types of faux leather, since I have to have basket weave, this is the easiest thing to clean and sanitize that's basket weave, is this type of faux leather material. Unfortunately, I'm kind of limited on what belts I can use in this type of faux leather basket weave. But ordinarily, my method of cleaning and sanitizing this when it's available, when it's a normal time of the year, is I just use Lysol wipes. So I'll take a wipe and I will clean off whatever I think needs cleaning off. So if I have to go hands-on with somebody and they're all sweaty and nasty, and then with those same gloves on, I have to pull my taser out or I have to pull my pistol out, Lysol wipes. And those seem to work really well. The good thing about this type of faux leather material is that it won't using most of these sanitizing methods, and especially Lysol wipes, there's nothing here to dry out, so you can just kind of wipe the surface of whatever it is you're trying to clean, and it's real easy to spot clean it without destroying that particular component. Also, you can Lysol wipe off tasers. I've done that before. Just be careful of those cartridges. You don't ever want to stick your fingers in front of that cartridge door, but the grip and safeties and trigger and stuff of the taser, as long as you take the cartridge out and take the battery out first, you can sanitize all of that using Lysol wipes, and most of it's like there's not real deep grooves in it, so it makes it fairly easy. Of course, we want to use rubber gloves if we think that's going to be an issue. We want to use a surface like this that isn't going to stain. Nice plastic table, or go outside on a picnic bench outside as long as you don't normally eat on it, or go do it in the driveway if you're going to do a deep clean of all of this stuff. So normally I just spot clean the stuff. The advantage of this material is the spot cleaning. The problem with it is that you end up getting holes rubbed through the exterior of the material, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure of how much gunk is getting soaked into this. You get blood or spit on this, it doesn't seem like it's just sitting on the surface. It seems like it's soaking in. So that can kind of pose a sanitizing problem. If you're really worried about it, what you can do is you can get a bucket or a vat or just a Rubbermaid container, and you mix bleach, 1 part bleach, 10 parts water into the vat, and then you just submerge whatever it is you're cleaning. The issue with that is if you have any metal components on something you stick in there, you got to make sure you WD-40 them. If it's things like the mechanisms on holsters, so all of these metal components in here, you want to make sure you get WD-40 in there. If it's something that doesn't normally get lubricated, if it's something like handcuffs, got a whole video on cleaning handcuffs, put a link up there and down below, or your baton, you need to clean it, sanitize it, and then properly lubricate these. You don't want to forget about doing that. That, pistols, anything else that you would normally have to clean in oil, if you sanitize it, you're probably going to end up degreasing whatever it is you're sanitizing. In fact, hopefully you're degreasing it in the process of sanitizing it, and that is going to cause you to have to make sure you lubricate it. You definitely want to get all the bleach and water out of any metal components, even like snaps on your belt keepers. Hit those with a little WD-40 and at least get all of the water and bleach out of there so you don't end up with rust or corrosion or any other problems with the metal components. The easiest belts to sanitize is your nylon belts. Now, the downside of these ballistic nylon belts like this is that these belts tend to absorb everything. The upshot of it is because it's a fabric, deep cleaning these is super easy. All you have to do is the same thing, big Rubbermaid container, 10-to-1 with bleach and water. Drop the whole thing in, give it a few minutes, let it all soak, pull it out, and then you let this dry. Again, things like a Cobra buckle or the holster components, you're gonna want to let those, shake them out a little bit and then hit them with WD-40 at the very least, if not a little lubrication, depending on which thing it is and whether you would normally lubricate it, so that way you don't get rust in it. And when you're waiting for it to dry out, make sure you check it every once in a while, maybe throw a little WD-40 in your buckle components or your holster components as they're drying so you don't end up getting water and bleach back into it. Before you do that with this type of thing though, some companies are using nylon with nylon thread and a nylon inner belt, and everything's the same nylon material and Velcro, and some companies are using a nylon belt, but your flashing material here on the side and the stitching could be made of cotton or something else that is going to discolor if you throw it in a vat with some bleach and water. So before you do that, make sure you take a little of that bleach and water, rub it on that spot, wait a little while, and see if you end up having color change. Because it might be a color change that you can go over with a black magic marker and turn it right back black, which is fine, and it might be a color change where you end up with a black belt in the middle with purple stitching or purple flashing on the outside of it, and you don't really want that. That's kind of going to look silly. Now, leather belts are a particular problem where I'm at. Most people, because the options with these types of pleather belts, we're actually required to use the Uncle Mike's one with the triple retention buckle, working on that. The problem is a lot of people, because these belts show that type of wear, they have this effect on the side where it wears through the surface and you have to rebuy components all the time. People will buy a leather belt, and leather belts last a long time if you take care of them. The problem is sanitizing them. Even if you can surface clean the top of it with, let's say, some Lysol wipes, you end up having issues with the inside of the belt because the inside rough area of the belt is stuff's gonna soak in there. So if you get blood or spit or whatever on that, or it just stinks, or you fall into a pile of something somebody's dog left outside of an apartment building who hasn't had that problem, at least on their boots before. Getting the smell and getting the nasties out of the leather can be a big issue, especially once that leather starts to crack a little bit. You can see a little brown or gray or green coming through of the natural color of the leather. You're gonna have a problem getting that sanitized and cleaned up. The best thing you can do with that, I found, has been alcohol. I tend to use a hand sanitizer on anything that's leather. Like, I have gloves that are leather that I've used for work for years, and the leather gloves, we can use hand sanitizer on them, put both gloves on, rub our hands, and then when that's done, wipe them off on a paper towel, and then later on we can throw a little leather conditioner on them and hope to keep them in better shape. But my leather gloves do tend to get messed up. Now, when you have nylon gloves or a cloth type of glove with a Kevlar liner or a Spectral liner or something like that, these types of very flimsy inner duty belts, the elastic inner belts, even things like belt keepers that have Velcro connections on them, to sanitize this type of stuff, you could just throw it in the wash with a couple of towels and some bleach and sanitize them that way. And that seems to work out pretty well for me. Most of this stuff, if it does discolor, isn't going to be a big deal. I don't care if my gloves get a slight tinge of purple in them because they're gloves. I'm not wearing them all the time anyway. I'm only wearing them to fight with people. And inner belts, it's going to be something that's underneath my duty belt anyway. So this could be bright pink. It wouldn't matter to me because nobody's ever going to see it. If you do get into a situation where you have some equipment that you can't bleach or you can't put alcohol on because it's going to change the color of it, you know, you test it on a little area and it's going to change the color of it. Another option, although not the best option, is to use a mixture of vinegar and water. And you can spot sanitize things with vinegar. It's not as effective as bleach. It's not as effective as 60% or higher alcohol is, but it will get most of the heebie-jeebies off of it so you don't catch the gonorrhea herpesiphilates. I know some people that use vinegar on their duty belts every once in a while to clean them off, but then again, you got to deal with the vinegar smell afterward, and sometimes I think that might be worse than the gonorrhea herpesiphilates. The other issue with leather belts is the metal and brass components on the top. You want to take those off. Make sure you spread the whole thing out. Get all of the components off of the leather belt before you do any of it, because with a nylon belt or a faux nylon belt, if you drop this in with all of its components on it, or this in with all of its components on into a vat, and then you leave it out over the register in your house so it gets heat blowing on it from the furnace all day, it's all eventually going to dry out, especially if you do it over the course of a weekend. With a leather belt, you have to take everything off, because after you dunk it in bleach water or hit it with alcohol or whatever you're going to do with it, you're going to need to clean it off, and you're going to need to go in there and condition all that leather and probably reapply a blackening material or shoe polish to make it look uniform again, because again, we're all in uniform and we're going to have to make it look uniform at the end of the day in order for the boss to be happy. So that's all I really have for cleaning and sanitizing our personal gear. Now we can talk about cars. The great thing about cars and most of the electronics that are in police cars is that most of them are at least a little bit waterproof. So generally what I'll do is I'll do the same 10-to-1 mixture of bleach and water, and we'll just put it in any spritz container we can get a hold of. Ace Hardware sells these fairly cheap, or you can use an old, window cleaner container. All those also last as long as one that's a dedicated model that's supposed to be reused. And take this, spray it on a towel, start wiping. And that's what I've been doing at work all week, is taking a container, bleach and water. By the way, you have to redo the bleach and water all the time. You can't just leave it in the container for a week. It loses effectiveness when you do that. So make up what you're going to use it for the day, toss it out, make up more later. Bleach is fairly cheap. Spray it all over anything that's hard plastic. Just make sure you don't get it all over your uniform. Wipe it down with a towel, or spray it on the towel and wipe it on stuff. You do have to be careful with electronics that you don't just take the bleach water and pour it on the tough book. Obviously that's going to mess it up. Or pour it on the siren box. But most of these things are water resistant enough that if you spray from a spritz bottle some bleach water on it and then wipe it off with the towel, it's generally going to be fine. I've been doing it for a week now. Haven't had any problems. Haven't even had the little stickers come off the siren box buttons yet. So I think we're doing all right with that. So that's it as far as all of those things. Don't forget to clean out your back seats every once in a while when you transport some nasty person, or they have a bloody nose and they get it all over the back window of your car. Don't forget about cleaning out all the stuff that you keep in the trunk every once in a while. And sometimes cleaning windows is a good idea. Maybe even clean the outside of the car if somebody bleeds all over it. Luckily we have car washers and power washers and stuff for that. But that is everything that I can think of right now. We're going to go to the Instagram live stream comments and questions, see if they have any comments or questions or better ideas for how to do all of this stuff. Stick around for that in a moment. Hey, thanks for watching Free Field Training on YouTube. While you're here, check out one of our other videos, or head on over to the Patreon and see how you can get your name put on your videos like these fine folks over here. All the links are in the description, of course. We'll see you guys next time.